monks and nuns even talk about sex. Might be talking about how they don't do it, but they're still talking about it. Make my dreams come true. I think about death every day. I have all these big dreams. Every one of us has goals. When we look at ourselves in the mirror naked, I'm gonna have made over $100,000 from my be your kid self. Time sneaks up on us. Do you speak to yourself like you would speak to your best friend or your child or your grandparent? I've never felt healthier, hotter, or happier. Me and my mom have not slapped each other or cussed each other out in months. There's a lot of beautiful lessons and love in the Bible when it's not being manipulatively regurgitated by judgmental individuals.
Stuck in my brain.
Hello, fellow moaners. Welcome to Make Yourself Moan Podcast. I'm your host, Madison MonRoe Curtis, and it's time to dive deeper.
Stuck in my brain.
How do I look? Do I look okay? Welcome to the Make Yourself Moan Podcast. I'm the host, Madison MonRoe. Let's get started. If you hear background noise, it's my precious fur babies growling, barking at the wind, at the chickens outside. Who knows? We're going to do the best we can. But there are other heartbeats, thank goodness, in this house. Dogs, cats. Right on the other side of this wall here is goats and more dogs and ducks and chickens and neighbors and all the things. Because we're living on our little farm in Mississippi at the moment. The goal is to move into the school bus and become a well-known podcaster, entrepreneur, photographer, fill in the blank with good things, positive things. While we're living in our school bus, traveling California and Oregon and all over the world, it's going to be so exciting. We're not there yet, but you ever just feel something in your bones, in your soul? I mean, I've already been speaking things into fruition from the moment I started this podcast, which was a year ago, guys. Woo! Cue laughter. Will I add a sound here? We'll see. A year ago this month, I launched Make Yourself Moan Podcast. Up until then, it had just been a longing concept that I kept thinking about day in and day out for literally years. I had a podcast beforehand years ago while I was living in my van, traveling on the road, but then I just kept getting too many questions of what does love your van life mean? Do you have to live in a van? What is van life? So you're homeless? And oh, you interview people too. It's not just you. A lot of life changes, like getting out of a bad relationship and finding myself more, moving out of my van and getting into the incredible partnership I have now, where we have lived in a truck camper and his camper and now a home on land. But soon, at some point in our future, it'll be a school bus, Lord willing. So exciting things are happening. And exciting things have happened. But I'm just summing that all up to say that Make Yourself Moan is a new concept to many people. And I don't blame you. The first several times you're going to hear it, you're going to think, what? Sex. We do talk about sex. Who doesn't? I'm pretty sure monks and nuns even talk about sex. They might be talking about how they don't do it, but they're still talking about it. Sex is a very normal thing that should not just be taboo and talked about behind closed doors and be told to others that it's a grown-up talk. Because guess what? Like alcohol and any drugs, alcohol, sex, just like anything, people of all ages have access to not only that information, but the ability to do it. So I just hope I can do my part and put out information and experience and what worked for me, what didn't, and maybe somebody, whoever needs it, can learn from my mistakes and my wins. Because like you, I'm human. And we're going to pull back that Wizard of Oz curtain. You're going to see the man behind the curtain, but without having to try hard. Because I'm jumping out of the curtain to say, this is me. This is me, and not every day I'm who I want to be, and I have definitely been someone I can't stand in past times, and even just the other day. So yeah, let's share some truth. And I'm in the seat right now, and anybody's welcome to join me on that seat and share your truth. All these people out there are sharing lies and trying to be someone they're not, and I would rather allow you in to a front, not necessarily a front row, but just allow you in to my orbit and watch me make my dreams come true and do it while being so authentically human. That means talking about the fact that I'm working on drinking less alcohol. I've said a lot of times in these podcasts while drinking a Jack and Coke that I'm going to drink less. And that is a journey. Anyone else tried that journey or been on that journey or is on the other side of it? Because it can be tough. Drinking alcohol alone is something that easily becomes the way we decompress in the evening, the way we reward ourselves at night after achieving a full work day and running errands and dropping kids off to school or pets off at the vet and planning and hosting holiday get-togethers for lots of family, which is not stressful at all. Mourning, going through grief, losing pets, losing loved ones. Last night, I found out that my Uncle Ronnie passed away, and he had been struggling with cancer for a little while, and I hadn't seen him in years, and it sucks. It sucks so bad to lose people and to not actually get the chance to see them when going to visit them was in your plans for the upcoming weeks. And that's what happened. This is the second person in my family I've lost this year. Go 2025. And I've lost 2 precious fur babies. Y'all, this life is tough at times, and yet it's also so beautiful. Ever since I started losing loved ones this year, and it was taking so much away from me, even before this year, I've feared losing those I love every day. I think about death every day, and yet I have all these big dreams. I was saying I've been speaking things into fruition ever since I started the first episode this time last year. And I'm going to continue doing that with you. So when I do make it in the ways that I'm saying I believe I will and want to and will work for, people who watch this from the beginning can be like, she actually did it. Okay, if she can do it, maybe I can do it too. I promise you, you can. People before me have made it, and I'm going to make it, and you can make it. It means putting in the work, showing up for yourself, keeping promises to yourself, challenging yourself to do less things that are harmful to you and more things that you know are going to change your life for the better. Yes, that can mean eating better, drinking less alcohol, maybe giving up smoking, signing up for a gym, baby steps. Just go to the gym, drive there, park there, doom scroll a little bit, and then leave. And then the next week, make it inside and just do 10 minutes and then do 20, 30, an hour. Just go use the massage chair if you go to Planet Fitness and familiarize yourself with showing up for yourself. If you need outside help, there is endless information and free material on YouTube. I highly recommend it. If you reach out to me, I can send you some videos that I personally have watched to get myself back into a routine after not going to the gym for years. Whatever you think of me right now and the way I look, just remember that every one of us has goals. We have goals for what we achieve in this world. We have goals for what we want to see when we look at ourselves in the mirror naked. We have these goals of discovering our passions and then maybe making some income from a passion so you don't spend 80% of your day providing for someone else's dream. That may be your dream, and if that's your dream, great. I can blow my nose. Oh man, got tissue. That's what happens when you talk about losing loved ones. I'm currently talking to my therapist to see if I have ADHD, and there's some moments where I'm just like, yeah, I got it. The fact that I am so all over the place in my conversation with you feels like a sign, but I don't know. I'm just here, and we're showing up, and we're talking, and I want this to feel like we're in the same room having a talk where I guess I'm dominating the conversation. So, but I promise, if you're my guest, I will allow you some room to talk. So anyways, what I'm manifesting is by this time next year, I'm going to have made over $100,000 from my podcast alone. Why not? Porque no. It can happen. It's going to happen. Why do I want to make it financially? I've made it in many ways. I have an incredible partner. I have shown up this year a lot to the gym. I have ordered fancy face cream, and sometimes I put this red light mask on my face. I don't know if it does anything, but here's the hoping. I made a podcast, a new one that is more aligned with who I am and who I am inside. And I've gotten to know myself a lot better through this podcast, through creating a name like this and dressing like this. This outfit, I know it doesn't really make sense, but I like it and it's fun. And you got to dress up or dress down for yourself. Wear the things that don't make sense. Be your kid self at times. Like, you as a kid is the same as who you are now. You're just older and you can do more things, but that doesn't mean you have to stop liking glitter or video games or running outside and getting dirty with mud all over your face. It just means you have a lot of responsibilities, so now you have to consider timing and understand that there's consequences. If you only wear glitter, more people are going to judge you. Shame on them. And if you want to go get all muddy outside, maybe don't do it before work. That's just me. It depends what your work is, though. There are times we get so focused on how to do something that we end up not attempting it at all. Hence, scheduling to call your loved ones or friends that you've grown apart from. Before you know it, decades have passed, and there's more distance between y'all, and it feels more awkward to call or show up. They may not even live in the same place that they used to live. Time sneaks up on us. So start today. You've heard it. The past has already happened. The future may never happen. And the present is a gift. And that's why they call it a present. It is right now. This thing that I'm doing right here with you, what you're doing watching me right now, that is your life. That is the moment of your today that you'll never get back. So, first of all, thank you for spending this moment of your life with me. If you actually are enjoying yourself, this is when I say, hey, are you subscribed? Or you can like this video if you feel like I'm giving you anything that you can take with you and share. But yeah, if you want to see more, just hit the little subscribe button, because that's how you can get notified that Make Yourself Moan podcast has a new episode out, because I am going to be putting out so many. A goal for my new year is being consistent AF. And I've been trying to be consistent my whole life. And it's one of those things, you just decide. You decide. What is it that you have been struggling with that you keep telling yourself you're going to do more of, or better of, or less of? What is it? And how does it feel when you wake up the next day thinking, again, I did the very thing I said I wasn't going to do? What if the world knew that I did that again? Whatever your thing is, the past is over. There are consequences of our decisions, but there is so much power in right now, in today, in showing up and saying sorry, in making the phone call, with sticking with your plans. If you say you're going to do something, every time you do what you say you're going to do, it's like Mario when you jump up and get a coin. You might see, oh, I'm so far away from getting another life after, I think it's 100 coins or so many coins. And that's kind of what it is. You're in the moment, like, oh, well, of course I achieved the goal I said I was going to today. I said I was going to make it to the gym, and I did it. And maybe I worked out harder than I thought I would, or maybe I just had no energy. I showed up, I did a few machines, and I'm feeling so pathetic leaving. I mean, that's a whole nother topic on how you speak to yourself. Do you speak to yourself like you would speak to your best friend, or your child, or your grandparent? I hope you're speaking to all those people kindly, as well as yourself. There are times when we can be hard on ourselves, and that will help, but most of the time, give yourself kindness. Understanding. If anyone understands what you're going through, what you're feeling, it is you. And if you're like me, you ever feel schizophrenic, where you have multiple voices in your head? And now, thankfully, I have learned, at least for me, those are just my voices. Those are me. It's the devil and the angel. It's the loving part of me and the hateful part of me. And they're always fighting, like a tug of war of who's going to be louder. And it's like the Native American story, which wolf will you feed? Because the one you feed is the one that wins. If you work on being positive with yourself, if you are at the gym and you're struggling, tell yourself, look, you made it, it's okay. You showed up. Baby steps. Don't forget, it takes, we're going to go up with 100 coins to gain a new life on MonRoe. That's one coin. If you're showing up, that's a coin. If you get up early like you wanted to, that's another coin. If you make coffee before you're doom scrolling on your phone in the morning, that's another point. If you make your bed before you leave the house in the morning, that's another point. You can get other extra lives in a whole day. Just how many times are you showing up for yourself? Don't let yourself run out of gas because you keep thinking, oh, later, later, later. If you think about something and you can do it right then, I promise you, you will succeed if you just do it. Don't put it to the side. Don't postpone it. Don't put it on your to-do list. If you really can knock it out right in that moment, freaking do it. Otherwise, you're probably going to forget, because I certainly do. Person behind the curtain, coming out of the curtain. In the last month and a half, I have turned 33, and I've never felt healthier, hotter, or happier. And I have so far to go in where I want to be with those things. I owe it to myself to realize, oh my gosh, look at how happy I am. Look at how wealthy I am. Look at all the things that I have. We bought a couch for ourselves on Black Friday for Christmas. That's so grown up of us. Just so many things. I got to trade in my phone and get a new Samsung. I know, Samsung. And my Beat headphones broke. So thankfully they had a really good deal on Cyber Monday for the Bose headphones, and I'm trying those out. You go to the gym, I don't know about you, but I need some headphones. That means I've made it in many ways. 2 years ago, we couldn't have bought a couch. We couldn't have bought headphones. recognize in the ways that you've grown, whether it's mentally, physically, financially, are your relationships stronger? Wherever you can give yourself an applaud, is that a problem? Wherever you can give yourself a clap moment, a pat on the back, do it. You should be the first person congratulating yourself. I am successfully drinking less alcohol than I've done in years. Energy drinks are another story. Call Her Daddy just came out with Unwell energy drink, and I'm really stoked to try it. It says the healthiest energy drink in the world. I don't know if that's true or not, but I wouldn't put it past her to do so. Ironically, I look forward to also creating an insanely healthy energy drink of sorts when I get financially super rich, because I love energy drinks. I also love coffee. But I feel like these are not good for my insides. So, to be continued on that topic, I just really enjoy the way that these taste and kind of make me feel. When I don't drink one of these, I've been falling asleep while driving and falling asleep while doing anything, really. The other day, I had to come home midday and take a nap. I haven't done that in years, but I could not keep my eyes open. I think I went to I had Bible study, and then it was at a coffee shop. So I stayed at the coffee shop and did some work. Well, then I thought, I'll just keep doing this work here and being productive. Hey, Candy. And before I knew it, I had to pack up and come straight home, and I took a 2-hour nap with my dogs and cats. But I had not had one of these. I did drink one that afternoon, and my eyes were much easier at staying awake. Still not sponsored. Ghost Energy, you want to sponsor me? Unwell? My dogs think you do want to sponsor me. Somebody out there that has a good, healthy energy drink wants to sponsor Make Yourself Moan Podcast, don't you? Because this drink makes me moan so loud. Y'all know something funny? So the other day I was trying to record a podcast episode, and I say try because I haven't posted it. I don't know how I feel about it. I was a few drinks in, and that's not really what I want to promote. But it's a journey. We're journeying through learning to have a better relationship with alcohol, not relying on it before I do a podcast, because I think it gives me liquid courage or whatever we think. So I kept doing these. I would lay upside down on the chair and do a little flip after I announced I joined therapy. Wow, I'm all over the place. Going backwards. In the last month and a half, I have turned 33. I have joined therapy. I am 2 months into therapy. Your girl is in therapy. Guys. I know, it's been a long time coming. I joined a gym, another gym, so I'm still a member of Planet Fitness, but I also joined Hot Works, because in my mind, I'm like, all the hot people in Hollywood be doing hot yoga and Pilates, so maybe that's what I need. And while I haven't gone as much as I want to in the last 2 weeks due to my birthday and some holidays, I'm getting back in the routine of going. It's unique. I do feel stronger, but it's just different than any sort of gym experience I've ever had. What do y'all think of Hot Works? Anyone out there a part of it? Tried it? Where did my mind go? Oh, and I got 2 new tattoos. I've started my leg sleeves. I got one here and got my calf piece worked on because it did not look like I wanted it to, and now it looks really cool, but it's so big, so big. I'm working on my relationships with my family. Me and my mom have not slapped each other or cussed each other out in months. We can hang out and we laugh, and now when we start on topics that are really just danger zones for us, we both kind of say, oh, nope, I can't. I've had all I can take of that one. And the other one says, okay, let's pivot. Oh, look at the trees. They're so beautiful. We went on an overnight trip in Natchez, Mississippi, and stayed above a saloon. That was awesome. So cool. We tapped out at midnight, but that bar stays open till 4 a.m. and people were going hard all night long. Thank God for window units that are loud. Yeah, I've really just been working on restoring faith in myself, doing what I say I'm going to do. A lot of these things have been on my to-do list for years. And I finally got to the place of, yes, there was a lot of months that I literally didn't have the money. But I thought, we do what we want to do. So instead of me spending $100+ on alcohol a month, how much does Hot Works cost? Okay, Hot Works costs $65. Therapy costs $65 a week. So at first I just joined one. And if I buy less alcohol, I should have that money, and I'm just going to commit. I'm just going to join. And if I can't afford it, if I truly can't, then I will cancel it. But it hasn't gotten to that point, and it's been 2 months. Isn't that awesome? It's a funny thing. When we commit to stuff, we're more likely to show up instead of just saying, oh, I'll do that one day. Guess what? One day rarely comes. When we put something into the category of one day, do you know how big that pile is? How big is your one day pile? And our dreams shift. We don't want the same things or need the same things that we did in 2007 as 2015 and 2025. We get older. We change. Our environment changes. Our jobs may change. And imagine if you did things that you felt called to do now. Yes, everything is going to continue changing, but it's going to be changing in this direction as if, you are the director of your movie. If you don't realize that, you are. If you want a passionate kissing scene, or you want to be a stand-up comedian, or you want the best sex with the sexiest person you've ever seen, you can freaking direct that. Just don't settle. Quit settling. And have patience. Show up to the things that you will first say you're going to do. And if you really don't want to do it, say no. I think Mary-Kate and Ashley are the ones that say no is a complete sentence. Someone said it. No is a complete sentence. And you don't have to give a reason. You don't have to apologize for your tears when you're crying. You don't have to say I'm sorry to fill space. And watch how many times you say like. Kind of annoying when people say it a lot. I do it too. It can be very brutal when you have a podcast, and right now I'm everything. Obviously I'm the host, but I'm also the director. I am the videographer. I'm the editor. I'm the marketer. I am the script writer. I don't have a script if you can't tell. I'm the prop guy. I have all the props. I'm house cleaning. I vacuum the loads amount of animal pet hair that accumulate behind and on these chairs and on my microphone. Don't look at it too closely because it is not clean. I forgot about that part. Yeah, when you're creating and making your dreams happen, you will probably need to do it all on your own. I am making a list of the parts of my day-to-day life that when I can afford it, this is, even if it's not hanging up my clothes anymore. I do not like hanging up clothes. Ooh, taxes. I hate trying to figure out and keep up with all the things that taxes are, and I don't understand it. Maybe one day I'll learn tax lingo. I don't like having to figure out how to set up cameras for this type of thing, for videos. That's why I only have one angle. It is on my list to get multiple points of view where I can have you looking at this side of my face and I'm looking here and we're going back and forth. Because that's a thing, if you notice, in the podcasting world, who's made it, Joe Rogan, Diary of a CEO, Call Her Daddy, Mel Robbins, they have multiple angles throughout their entire video. I'm so happy for them. It looks great. I'm on my way there, just not there today. Where I am at is so farther than where I was 2 years ago, though. So, and hopefully even a year ago. I try to improve in something every time I do one of these with you, for you. I'm stuffed up. I shouldn't have cried. I'm not saying sorry I cried, but I shouldn't have cried. Oh, this may help, right? I'm gonna check, see if we're still recording. I really hope we are. Oh, thank God. Thank goodness. We're still recording. Is there anything else I wanted to say? I'm listening to this book right now called The Naked Truth. Can't remember who it's by. If I had a team today, I'd say, hey, who's that by? But I don't yet. It's about looking at your relationship with alcohol differently. It's a good book. Whether you're sober, you don't want to be sober, or you're working on drinking less, I recommend giving it a listen or a read. I'm more of a book listener on my mini commutes to and from gyms and work. There's no escaping loss. This year I've had more loss than ever, and I know it's really never going to end. As we have the gift of continuing to live and celebrating birthdays and holidays, everyone around us is getting older too. And there's a lot of health stuff out there. There's a lot of bad diets out there. There's a lot of accidents. And every day is such a gift when you have the ability to call someone, hug somebody, and to not have to grieve them. Grief is love that we no longer know what to do with because it's different, it shifts. And ever since I lost my grandma and then Yoshi and Mario and now Uncle Ronnie, I've had a lot of back-to-back opportunities to be reminded there's gotta be good that can come from loss. There's gotta be. So far, I've come up with where they were once stationary. I needed to go to Cincinnati to see my Uncle Ronnie. Now, I kind of feel like he's all around me. And, I believe that he is in heaven. But as a human still on earth, I don't know. It's hard for me to visualize that. And I can't really, at this moment, grab onto that. I'm also working on my relationship with God and reading the Bible without telling myself and manipulating myself that it means hate queer people and divorce is sinful and men are the most important. Women are here to serve men. There's a lot of beautiful lessons and love in the Bible when it's not being manipulatively regurgitated by judgmental individuals. Side note, people make up a church. And we hear about religions, God, Jesus, from sinful people. I beg you not to feel that you get to know God and Jesus through just other humans. If it feels right, maybe it's right. But does it feel right because it's coming from something you can explain and it's covered in joy and love and kindness? Or does it feel like judgment, gossip, opinions? Yeah, I feel like he's all around me. And I feel like when we lose somebody, we gain a part of them and absorb it into us. Maybe the ability to love is greater than it was before. Maybe a part of your brain is now unlocked to where you have a passion for something they were passionate about. Maybe you get to inherit a book and you actually read it and something about it changes your life. There are ways that we can become who we're meant to become from losing them in the way that we've always been used to having them here. And I'm sure that's a little weird and whatever, but I just know. I know there's a purpose. I just know there's a purpose to losing loved ones because the pain and the hole that is left when they leave, that's not what God has always shown me he's about. There's a reason for everything. I was thinking earlier while I was getting ready for this podcast that God is love. I have it right here, tattooed on my wrist. It's my first tattoo. God is love. And we experience grief when we lose someone that we love. Maybe we're meant to love heaven and love what comes next when we're called home to Jesus, to God. And the more of those that we love leave this earth, how can we not look to heaven and what comes next as exciting? At some point, you're going to long for it. You're going to pray for it. You're going to be envious that your time hasn't come yet. The Bible calls us to love others as Christ loves us. And a lot of times we get confused. We think that that means we need to love others as people in the church show us love. I'm talking loving the least of these, giving food and drink and the clothes off your back, and giving shelter, and being kind to people that have no connection to you whatsoever, and you don't have to know what they're going to do after your kindness, after you give them clothes or whatever you feel led to. You don't have to know where they're going next, how they're spending it. You see a need and you help in love, in the name of God. Love is everything. Love allows us to forgive and be forgiven. Love gives people motivation to try again. Love for ourselves gets us in the shower and gets us out of bed. Love creates life. Love creates change. Love gives hope, understanding. It creates beautiful things, art, buildings, experiences, clothes. Do and chase what you love. Unless what you love is taken, don't chase that. Don't chase taken people. I know some people like, wow, what a hypocrite. I have chased people that have been taken. It was someone that I had been with a lot before they were taken. And, as you're growing up and you're in those teenage years and early 20s, you're very, what is the word? When you feel like you own it. Possessive. You're very possessive, and you kind of just assume that whatever you want is yours. That's not true. It's not true at all. And so this girl has learned some things over the years. That's why don't be afraid to enter your 30s. That is some of the best years you'll ever have. Forget the 20s. If you're having a great time in your 20s, good for you. I would never repeat those. If I could be guaranteed not to do the same things and date the same people that I did, I would try it, I guess. But like I said, I'm happier, healthier, and hotter than I've ever been in my 30s. 30s is where it is at. I always heard that in your 30s you have the confidence to do what you didn't in your 20s. And I just naturally want to be healthier now. In your 20s, you really do have that invincible lie going on in your head. And good things can come from that. Maybe, sure, I suppose you're more likely to, go rock climbing and jump off a cliff or a bridge with hopefully some protection, and fall in love really quickly. There's a reason we have our 20s. I'm not saying just get rid of them altogether, but don't not be excited for your 30s and your 40s and your 50s and your 60s and your 70s and your 80s and your 90s and 100s. Life is beautiful. And if you woke up this morning, which you had to have, right? Unless you're a ghost and just you do you and I'm going to do me and we can live peacefully among each other. Be glad. Look up at the clouds and figure out what you see. Do you see a bunny? Do you see something else that's a little inappropriate? Look at the trees tonight. First of all, go outside and put on a coat if it's cold and look up at the stars. See if you see them. Look for the moon. When you're driving, put down your phone. Don't drink and drive. If you go out, have a DD or sleep it off in your car. There are too many people dying and getting ran over from people behind the wheel. And what else? Life lesson. Well, I'll leave you with today. Hug your fur babies. Take your kids' tablets and iPhones away and encourage them to go jump on a trampoline or hug a tree. And take a vitamin D. I haven't yet, but I hear that's really important for us to do. So, disclosure, I am a non-licensed human to tell you any of this advice or things, so take it as you will. And good luck with everything. I hope you have a beautiful day, an incredible week, and when you're in the season of storms, I hope you're able to somehow feel peace and joy and meet kind strangers throughout your day that restore all the good things in life to you. Okay. Thanks for coming to the Make Yourself Moan podcast and giving me this precious time of yours. I love you. Until next time. Bye.
Stuck in my brain.
Thank you for tuning in to Make Yourself Moan. Remember, self-love and raw truth are your power. So keep diving deeper and turning up the volume on truth and healing. Until next time, I'm Madison MonRoe Curtis, sending you love and loud moans of confidence. If you feel led to, please follow me, like, subscribe on all those socials. I'd love it if you send or email me any and all topics on your heart and brain, and let's unravel those together. Until next time, just keep moaning.